Title: The Clockmaker's Apprentice. Chapter 1: The Busy Town of Kronos. In the bustling town of Kronos, time was the most valuable currency. People hurried through the cobblestone streets, their pockets filled with pocket watches, their eyes darting between tasks. The town's clock tower loomed over the square, its gears always turning, its chimes marking every passing second. At the heart of Kronos lived an old clockmaker named Elias. His workshop was a sanctuary of order amidst the chaos. Every tool had its place, every gear was polished, and every clock ticked in perfect harmony. Elias was known not just for his craftsmanship but for his wisdom. He never seemed rushed, yet he accomplished more in a day than most did in a week. One day, a young man named Leo arrived at Elias's door. Leo was ambitious but overwhelmed. He had dreams of becoming a master inventor, but his days were a blur of half-finished projects, missed deadlines, and restless nights. "Master Elias," Leo said, panting from his sprint across town, "I need your help. I want to achieve great things, but there's never enough time." Elias adjusted his spectacles and studied the frazzled young man. Then with a knowing smile he said, "Very well. You may apprentice under me, but first you must learn the true meaning of time." Chapter 2: The First Lesson, The Hourglass. Elias handed Leo an hourglass filled with golden sand. "This is your first task," he said. "For 1 week you will carry this with you. Every time the sand runs out, you must stop whatever you are doing and ask yourself, am I spending this time wisely?" At first Leo found the exercise frustrating. He would be deep in thought, sketching a new invention when the sand would run out, breaking his focus. But soon he noticed something. His mind was clearer. He began to recognize when he was wasting time on trivial tasks or distractions. By the end of the week, Leo returned to Elias. "I see now," he said. "Time isn't just passing, it's a resource like gold, and I've been spending it carelessly." Elias nodded. "Good. Now for your next lesson." Chapter 3: The Second Lesson, The Pendulum. Elias led Leo to a large grandfather clock. "This pendulum swings without fail, back and forth, steady and unchanging. Do you know why?" Leo shook his head. "Because it follows a rhythm," Elias explained. "You must find your own rhythm. Work without rest leads to exhaustion. Rest without work leads to idleness. Balance is key." He assigned Leo a strict schedule: focus work in the morning, a break at midday, study in the afternoon, and rest in the evening. At first Leo resisted. What if inspiration struck at night? But soon he found that his productivity soared. His mind was sharper, his ideas more refined. Chapter 4: The Third Lesson, The Broken Clock. One evening, Leo rushed into the workshop, panicked. "Master Elias, the town clock is broken. The gears are jammed, and the hands won't move." Elias remained calm. "And what have you tried to fix it?" "I pulled at the gears, I shook the mechanism. Nothing worked." Elias sighed. "A clock cannot be forced. You must understand its workings before you can repair it." Together, they carefully disassembled the clock, cleaned each gear, and reassembled it with patience. By dawn, the clock was ticking again. "Time cannot be rushed or forced," Elias said. "You must work with it, not against it." Chapter 5: The Final Test. Months passed, and Leo grew wiser under Elias's guidance. He no longer chased after every idea at once. He planned, prioritized, and paced himself. His inventions, once chaotic, now bore the mark of careful craftsmanship. One day, Elias called him to the workshop. "It is time for your final test." He placed an empty journal before Leo. "For 1 month you will track every hour of your day. Not to control time, but to understand it." Leo did as instructed. He recorded his work, his rest, his moments of inspiration, and even his distractions. At the end of the month, he saw patterns, times when he was most productive, tasks that drained his energy, and habits that stole his time. When he showed the journal to Elias, the old clockmaker smiled. "Now you see, time management is not about filling every second. It's about making every second count." Epilogue: The Master's Gift. Years later, Leo became a renowned inventor, his creations admired throughout Kronos. When curious apprentices asked his secret, he simply smiled and handed them an hourglass. And in the heart of the town, the clock tower continued to chime, a reminder to all who listened. Time is precious. Use it wisely.